Oh,
Hello.
hello.
I'm Sammi,
And I'm Steve.
and you're listening to Rose Plate Special or watching the most dramatic, wackest, hot tubbingest, Matthewingest recap podcast of The Bachelorette ever.
Ever.
Could Austin say whack more times in this episode?
No?
I don't think so.
Things have
I'm
never
pretty
been more
sure.
whack.
I was like, we get it. You think it's whack. I understand.
It is. I mean, it's pretty whack.
Yeah, it
It's
was
whack.
whack. It was whack, or not Matthew, Austin. We'll talk about Matthew. Um, yeah, so first of all, apologies everybody because we just got the last episode out like yesterday, and half of that was my fault. Um, a third of it was my fault. A third of it was Steve's fault, and a third of it was our recording service's fault. It was
Mhm.
like the perfect storm of lost internet connections where I was like, you know what's weird? Okay, this I'm gonna give you a peek behind the curtain. So the tool we use is called Zencaster. You've probably seen the watermark in one or two videos. And it's a great, I mean, it's great. I've no complaints. We've been using it for like 5 years. But one of the things that's weird is we've just started doing more videos, and when one of our connection drops, we still maintain the recording because we've got two tracks going. So there's like there are long periods. There may still be one in there. I don't know. Like I'm gonna watch an hour and a half. You have to watch an hour and a half. But there were long periods in there where it's like you were still going, but I lost you, and
Oh
so there was
no.
there was like footage of me like looking like I'm mad at what you're saying, but I'm literally going, "Where did he go?" Like, and I'm not
You're just
saying
like pissed off
anything.
at me.
Yeah, and it just looks like I'm mad about you complaining about, like, time machines. So, that wasn't the case,
Yeah.
but we tried to edit it and get it as neat as we could for you, and then for some reason, I couldn't get it to publish. So, but thank you, Zencaster support, for being so nice and giving me some tips for apparently, like, it's kinda like, sometimes you just have to, like, punch the vending machine a little. It was kinda like that. He was like, "Sometimes you just have to have it open in multiple tabs and it'll work." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay."
there you go.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna have this problem again because
No,
I'm
it's
on
gonna
a
be great.
different internet thing. We're good. We're fine.
The
Everything's
funny thing
great.
is you would have no idea that it was even happening, but now I told you, so now you know.
Now you know.
But I figure you like to have a peek behind the curtain, and let's talk about another thing before we keep rolling, and that's I finally listened or tried to listen, let's be
Mhm.
honest, to Sam N's podcast,
And how
and
was that?
I couldn't get through 5 minutes. I texted you. And that's when I stopped. I was literally like, "This is the worst thing I've ever listened to,
No.
and it needs to stop, and I need I need to get it gone." Let me just, like, give you a preview. It was very much he mentioned being a serial entrepreneur, cryptocurrency, and something related to manifestation or, like, mindset in the first 5 minutes.
So he hit all the buzzwords on the bingo card.
I just couldn't do it. I was like, "I can't listen to
Wow.
more." I mean, it just was so manufactured. It was so
You think
yeah,
he's gonna
tech
manifest
bro.
himself a, personality, or is that not possible?
I mean, if manifestation was real, don't you think he would have done it by now?
Yeah, I think so.
If manifestation was real, don't you think he would have won The Bachelorette?
Mhm.
Let's
Didn't
just
manifest hard enough.
Let's put our thinking caps on. Yeah, it was just so bad. And then knowing that the co-host was like even worse
Oh
because he was
god.
like talking about like converting him in the comments. Remember do you remember
Oh,
that?
yep. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It
It's
was
all
something
coming
like,
back
"Is
to me.
he a Christian?" And he was like, "No, but hopefully soon." And I was like, "Huh?" Like
Can't wait to get him on board.
what? Like that's so inappropriate. I don't even know what to say
It's
about
real
that.
real
Yeah.
weird stuff.
So you didn't miss anything, and it's probably good he's gone, and maybe he'll end up on Paradise and just be weird on Paradise. Um, but geez Louise, like that podcast, I was like, this can't get worse. And then it just like kept, I don't know, he just kept being like, yeah, so like, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, So, that's as far as I got. So, that's my
What do you think
report
he
on
would
that.
say about us? Do you think he would like our podcast? Probably
No,
not.
I don't
We
think
haven't been
so.
kind to him.
I think he would say that, like, we're manifesting all the wrong things in our life or something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he's also an actor, but I also have an IMDb page, so it's fine. So the men are really excited to be here at the cocktail party, and nothing is gonna go wrong, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be drama free, and they're so
Mhm.
excited. And how could anything go wrong? This could be the first night where nothing actually goes wrong.
Yeah, be
And
perfect.
even Dylan gets to do the foreshadowing. He's like, "This could be the first party with no drama." And then, first of all, seriously, every dress Jen wears is ridiculously good, in my opinion. I know not
Yeah.
everyone liked the green dress or whatever. This
Well,
floral
it helps when
dress,
you're just, like, absurdly beautiful,
yeah,
like,
she
yeah,
would
it
look good
just
in
works.
anything, but she really I think she has really good dresses. Like this floral
Mhm.
moment,
Yeah. Shout
wild.
out to the stylist. Who is it? What a great job. I would love to interview the person who's in charge of, like,
I know.
wardrobe on The Bachelor,
The
like, that'd be
looks are
amazing.
really, I feel like people are bringing it this year and the looks are really good. Like, and no one's wearing anything outwardly ridiculous in a bad way either that I can
Mhm.
think of outside of, Austin's hair, but
Yeah.
like everybody looks really good. Like I think everyone's like looking great. So
Mhm.
anyway, so she comes out and she's like, "Okay, so Matthew, one of my exes, came here and I just like left him on ice and now I'm going to go talk to him right now, I guess, or whatever." And she's like, "So
Great.
I'll be right back." And I was surprised. I was like, "Yeah, that was in the morning and now they're at the night and I guess they didn't see her all day." And I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
something about the editing of this just feels like maybe I don't know. It
Yeah.
just
It
feels like it was
feels
shot funny.
it does. The whole
Yeah.
thing feels kinda out of sequence and
Yeah.
weird, and even the way they present it, like, they show up and they're just like, "Oh, what like, can you believe this guy flew, all by
Yeah.
himself? We didn't tell him to do that. He just showed up," and we're like, "Yeah, that's good and normal, come on." Like, the whole thing
Yeah.
wasn't just completely orchestrated by production, it was ridiculous.
Apparently, like, this guy describes himself as a fuckboy,
Oh, well,
I mean, it's wild that he even put any initiative into this because obviously Jen did not think that this was ever serious, like,
No, well, they
at
dated for
all,
a few
like, for a
months
minute. Yeah,
several years ago.
yeah.
Are
I
you
mean, they
kidding?
did they did have, like, some major holiday and vacation-ish looking photos, but still, yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like he tried to pull this grand gesture at the last minute, and yeah, it's giving weaponized incompetence. Okay? That's what it's giving. Um, so then, yeah, Austin is like, "This is whack and corny." If he gets to stay, that's whack.
Yeah. Whack,
Si
yes.
yeah.
Corny? I don't know if it's
I don't think it's
corny.
corny, but
No, I
and
don't
I
think
don't think it's
Austin
whack
knows what
of
that word means,
Jen.
though.
I think it's whack
No.
of Matthew.
Yeah.
Um, and I also would totally get her position if she's like, "Well, yeah, you flew all this way. You can stay for one date." If she kind of knew who she thought was going to go home and she felt confident in letting enough people home, then if I was her, I'd be like, "Okay, you get one last chance. Let's see you
Mhm.
top flying to New Zealand for me and go." And I would be like, "And then you've got to plan a date for me. I'm not planning the
I
date for you. And
like
you
that.
tell me what our 5-year plan is."
Ooh,
See, wouldn't have that would have been good TV.
that's a hard question to
Jen just
answer.
putting Matthew in the hot seat. I think that would have been good. But
Oh,
instead
Matthew.
but yeah, so Sam, a couple other pieces of comments from this. Yeah, Sam was like, my blood is boiling." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure like anything makes your blood boil. I think
Yeah.
just like women having thoughts of their own makes your blood boil.
He
So,
was he was Sam was getting really into his Chet Hanks, like, accent thing that he does,
mm,
leaning into it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I just don't know about it. Yeah, he's very much nothing like Tyler. That's all I know.
Yep. That's all we know.
Um, Jen is fighting between the past and this newness that she is experiencing here. And Devin is like ready to walk out. I don't know if he was really, I don't think he would have, but he goes, "If she comes in here with him, This rose means nothing. And then here he comes, but then and then they're like, "Oh," and then he's like, "I'm leaving." And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Which honestly was
that's
kind
fine
of
and
funny.
good."
He just like rolls up in an ill-fitting tuxedo. He's just like, "Hey guys,
I
guess
didn't get a
what?
stylist, so here I am.
I'm just going home now. Another 18-hour flight, whatever."
I hope he at least got to enjoy New Zealand a little bit,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, go on vacation, dude.
get
I mean,
something out of it,
it's
yeah.
probably even better. You don't have to bunk up with like 8 other guys. Like you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Go be a fuckboy in New Zealand, dude.
Oh my gosh, be so fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then yeah, these men, well, it's Sam especially. Sam is so toxic. He's so toxic. Like he
Mhm.
really like I have a hard time watching him. I have a hard time paying attention to him because he really bothers me. And he even
I
said,
can't stand him. Like, he speaks
yeah,
in cliches, and then on
yeah.
top of that, he has the, like, the affectation, the faux, like, "Yo, tough guy," like, that
Yeah, it's
shit.
very weird. It's just
It's very weird.
it's very weird.
It's
If
Jersey
that's whack and
Shore, Chet
corny.
Hanks. Yeah, it's whack and corny is what
That's
it
whack
is.
and corny, Austin. Anyway, yeah, he just really grinds my gears. And then
I
he
agree.
says to Matthew, like, "I'm glad you're being left in the past." And I'm like, "He's leaving. He's
Yeah.
leaving. Can you
That was the other thing.
just."
He was, like, extra mad about it,
Yeah,
and
I'm like,
Matthew was just like, "Hey, I swung for the fences, and
and it didn't
boy,
work,
didn't work."
and I respect Jen's decisions, and I'm leaving. And he's like, "I'm glad you're being left in the past." I'm like,
You're not gonna be a
okay.
dick about it. Sounds like he was being pretty nice.
Yeah, Sam is definitely the type of guy that's like, "What's on your phone? I wanna see what's on your phone. Who you're talking to? You talking to somebody?
What's on
Oh,
your phone?
who did
It's
you
just
just."
me watching a TikTok of a chinchilla eating a carrot.
Yeah, you just like somebody's. Who's that? Who's yeah, it's like, "Who's Ed?" And she's liking, like, Ed Begley Jr. videos. That's just my feed. Taking the bus to the Oscars, and it's like, "Oh, why would you like this old man stuff?" Um, yeah, so funny. Gosh, what was it the other day? Oh, now I'm trying to remember. Tuck came in, and I was just like, laughing really hard, and I'm sure it was like some dog video. There's some really good ones out there. I don't know if you've seen them, where someone's doing this like Trump impression of, like, he's like, like, "You can shoot my ear, you can take my ear, but not my liberty, because
Yeah.
my ears will grow back." And people have been turning those into dog videos where they pin the ears back, and then when the ears grow back, they just spring into place. And
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah, I've seen
watched
those.
100 of those probably. They're
Pretty
very
good.
funny. So, yeah, that's what's on my phone. That's what's on my phone right now. It's just dogs with their ears growing back.
Yeah. Well, Sam wants to take a look at it
Yeah.
because
He
are
wants.
you yo, are you talking to that dog, Sammy?
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
am. Yeah, me and
yeah.
that Shiba are getting pretty serious.
Yeah, well, you
So,
better Shiba yourself to the door.
Inu. Jen is experiencing an emotional roller coaster. And Matt did say he was in love with her, and Jen has amnesia or just very selective hearing, because she also again says that's the first time someone says it to me. And I'm like, I feel
It's
like
true.
people are saying these kinds of things to you.
People are
But
saying it. They're
someone did
saying it
say,
more and more.
but here's the thing. Some people, Devin said falling in love. He didn't say in love. But I think the love virgin did say in love. He didn't say, I don't think he said falling in love, but she's just
I think he
completely.
said he's starting to
Oh,
fall
starting to fall.
in
Okay.
love.
So, okay, wait. We do need to diagram. I'm going to write this down right now. Let's discuss this. Let's discuss the stages, right? So
Okay.
there's like, there's usually like, "I like you," or like, "I have a little crush on you." Like, people will say
Mhm.
that kind of stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I got a new mechanical keyboard, and so now I feel better than everybody else.
Whoa, you're
And
so
then
clicky clacky.
yeah, well, mine is creamy. Mine has a creamy sound.
Oh,
Starting to fall in love.
I'm a gamer. Sorry.
Have, or well, yeah, there's like, "I have feelings for you," or like, starting to
Yeah.
have feelings for you.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's like I like you slash I have a crush.
yeah.
That's pretty innocuous. And then
I've
I'm
wanted to do this for
starting
a
to
long
have
time.
feelings for you. I have feelings for you. I'm
Yeah,
starting to fall in love with you.
yeah.
I'm falling in
Falling
love
in
with you.
love.
Slash falling for you. Falling without the in love, it's still implied.
Uh-huh.
And
In
then
love.
And then we're in love after
and then
that.
love.
And then
And
love.
then is there another one
No, I
after
think
that?
that's it. I think that's
Okay.
it. Pretty sure we got it.
I think that's good. Email us at popculturediner@gmail.com if we missed any, and I will add it to the diagram. But I'm gonna get like I'm gonna put a diagram together because I'm like,
I love
it's
it.
so
Like you just
funny.
like holding up the poster board. It's like
This
currently
is
Devin
where
is here.
yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is a fun idea for next season. Is get one of those, like what is it like like the felt, like the felt
Oh, and we like
boards?
move them along like
Yes.
their
And we
little
have like their little heads.
yeah, their little heads. Okay, we need to do this now.
Okay, okay. I will definitely do that. Okay. Arts and crafts time.
Mhm.
Okay, that sounds very, very fun. So there we go. So I had to pin that down because we talk about it all the time, and I'm like, wait, who said what? And we are gonna document it. So anytime one of those changes, we will move the head on the board, and I'll be like,
Mhm.
let's consult the board. So okay, so that was a big deal to her that he said in love, but again, it was too little, too late. So it's time to give out the roses, which go to Grant, Jeremy, Jonathan, Spencer, Dylan, and Austin. So Thomas N and John are gone. I think that makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
I know Thomas N was kind of riding on the we're first generation Americans, we have similar backgrounds, but I think he focused too much on the drama in the house and not enough on Jen, and just kind of thought he could coast, and it didn't work. So I
Yeah. Well, I
wasn't
mean, it worked
shocked.
for 3 or
A little
4
while. Yeah.
episodes.
But I wasn't really seeing it between the 2 of them, like, they didn't seem to have chemistry, so
No.
I didn't think it was gonna make it past then anyway, and John, I mean, he seems really nice, but he just has gotten, like, no airtime. Like, every
Oh,
once
none
in a
at
while, he
all.
pops up, it's like, "And I'm still here," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, John, I forgot about you," kind of, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, and again, he seems great, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
funny because I guarantee you in, like, 2 years, he's gonna pop up on Paradise, and I'll be like, "Who the hell's that?" And you'll be like,
and I'll be
"Steve,
like,
remember? He was
remember
nice,
it
but
was
we didn't
John.
see him."
We liked him, but we just didn't see him ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I could have predicted this. Yeah, and it just makes so much sense. So we get to the next day. So it wasn't like that shocking of a finale, but good try having a cliffhanger. So okay, so we get to the next day. Jesse is being a good host. I just feel like I need to make notes of when Jesse's being a good host because they're in Auckland and he's like, did you know that Auckland is a really big coffee city? And this is me, just in case things don't work out with this. I always try to show how worldly I am so that I can host a travel show in the future. So, did you know that Auckland has a really big coffee culture? And so they're kind of starting the day, and we find out that Jonathan is gonna get the one-on-one, which was one of the things I
Ooh.
predicted last week,
You
I
did.
believe.
You
I said,
did.
but I did get one of them wrong, but I got this one right.
Oh, move over reality, Steve. It's time for reality Sammy.
Yeah, I just don't talk to anybody who actually knows anything. I just make educated guesses.
Mhm.
Um, so here's the weird thing: can they just cool it with all the flights? What's going on? Why is Jen just always in the air? It's
I
just
don't know.
it doesn't
What is
seem like
this? She's gotta have, like, a size 5 shoe, and yet her carbon footprint is massive.
yes. What is she trying to be like Taylor Swift? What's going on here? Except Taylor Swift has a bigger shoe size and much higher net worth, and she takes 30-minute plane rides. So yeah, this was just so weird. And like, and Jonathan was like, I don't want it to be a hot air balloon. And then I was like, well, then it's gonna be. And then I was kind of sad when it was a helicopter. And even Jonathan was like, I don't know what it is with you and heights, but okay, I will go. And he's like, I'm gonna make her feel really needed because he's not okay with
W
going up
Yeah,
into this helicopter. Yeah.
but also it's like, how many this is her 2nd helicopter date?
This is her second helicopter date. And like he mentioned, she jumped out of a plane, she jumped
And
off a
jumped off a
building,
building.
and she's already been in a helicopter, and now she's in a helicopter again.
So this has been all 4 of her dates have been like,
Yeah.
"I'm up high, scary."
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, in New Zealand, I assume flying is one of the fastest ways to get to certain places.
Sure,
So
sure.
I understand being in New Zealand, it's like, yeah, I get that. So I would assume that that's part of it. And they do go to a vineyard, and that's very fun. And but the funny thing was Jonathan was like, "I knew it." And I'm like, "How?" Like, I feel like there was something that got cut out in like filming that
Mhm.
would make it understandable that he knew they were going to a vineyard, cuz I don't think he
Yeah.
said anything, and also the date card didn't make it clear that they were going to a vineyard at all.
No. I
So it was
wonder
just
which vineyard like, what who they make wine for? Is it Yellowtail? I hope so.
No, that's Australian.
Oh, you're
See,
right, you're right.
now the New Zealanders are gonna come
Now
for
the
you.
New Zealand
All
now
the
all the
Kiwis are
Kiwis, they're
gonna
gonna
yeah,
come for
they
me.
go down your throat. But yeah, so anyway, they're doing, goofy stuff in the vineyards, like throwing grapes, and then Jen says, "Watch what I can do with my mouth." And I was like, okay, Jen. Anyway, so they're silly, and silly always has potential on the show. You can't discount the silly relationships. They can last very long on the show and go all the way. But you do need to have the romance too. And then we see that they shipped the hot tub all the way to Auckland, or they've just
Mm,
found one. But I'm just in my mind going, this is the same hot
it's
tub
one tub.
forever because it
One tub
looks
forever.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Jonathan was like, "I don't know, like it's friendly, but is it just friends or is it like serious, So like
Mhm.
let's try to get serious and vulnerable."
Yeah. And Jen says, "I just feel like I can be my authentic true self around you," which
Yes.
is a nice thing to
That
say.
is nice. Well, I think he's one of the nicest guys on the show, if not the nicest. I think he's like the most rational pick at this point, but she wants a ferocious love. So is she gonna be rational? And Jonathan's even like, "I gotta make sure that I can give her a
Mm.
ferocious love."
Yeah,
And I'm
what's
like,
the ferocity level?
"Yeah,
We keep saying this, no one has clearly defined what the ferocious love is. If
right.
I'm gonna say the one thing I need from a relationship is an abstract concept which I have not defined, like that's bullshit. You
Yeah.
gotta lay it out there. What does ferocious love really mean,
Oh my
Jen?
god. I don't know why I just teleported to this, but did you ever watch the television show Misadvised?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, it was a one
You made
season.
it up.
No, it was a one season Bravo show.
Okay.
Believe me, it opened my world to a whole host of things. I mean, and it's the rabbit hole is so deep it would take years to discuss. So we're not going to get into all that.
Whoa.
But it was three people who like kind of did dating advice things, but had sucky dating lives themselves. So one of
Oh,
them was like a sex columnist, the other one was like a matchmaker, and then the third said that she was a dating columnist, but
this
she's
is real
m
Sex in the City.
yeah, but she's more well known from, like, her days, pursuing tech bros and getting into, like, a lot of Gawker articles. Um, yes, and, her name is Julia Allison, and maybe we talked about her at one point. I did write a paper about her in grad school, kind of. Um, and she had a 73 point dating checklist. So it was like, if I'm gonna be with you, you have to meet, or maybe it was 72. I don't know. It was in the 70s. It was like, you got to meet every single item on this checklist for me to like want to be with you.
Whoa.
Um, yeah. So that's like the other end of the spectrum. And Jen's just like, I want a ferocious love. And here's like, I would say Marcus and Jonathan are the two most like stable, put together guys on the show. And I think, she's interested in both of them, but I think she's also kind of like, I want something a little more tumultuous than that.
Yeah.
And, you know, when Sam talks about like reckless love, I'm like, oh, that just
Yeah.
feels like a red flag to me. I don't know.
Well, he is a giant red flag. He's also dumb, so I don't think he knows what that word means either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is part of her like kind of bridging that gap, I think, because she talked about like the toxic relationships she's been in the past, and I think like there's some people out there who truly associate like a strong, loving bond with that just extreme levels of emotion, which can include things that are unhealthy.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's just
that's
like,
not good. Like,
ooh, yeah.
duh.
And I mean, it's like, so Jonathan opens up about his past. And I thought that was really interesting, where he's like, I was kind of a hopeless romantic and I got into this relationship. And, and then, being with someone who was like obviously going through it and like self-medicating and like blaming him for certain things. And, you know, there's, three sides to every story, right? But I mean, yeah, I think I felt like his sharing of his story was
Mhm.
authentic. It felt
Yeah.
authentic, and also felt like he was, like, trying to reflect on where might I have gone wrong, even though it's like sometimes, people are going through it and you can't pull them out of it. There's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing you can do to save it. Um, and I think I don't know, I believe him when he speaks, and, he's like, "It destroyed me to my core." Um it's just interesting. I was reflecting on this with like Devin and Sam as well, but I think Jonathan and Sam would also work, where it's like you can have two men and they're saying almost exactly the same things, but one feels real and one feels not so real. And that's, I think Jonathan's just a genuine person. I think he would be a very
Yeah.
good choice.
He
Um,
presents more sincerely, and
yeah,
so I hope he is.
Yeah, I mean, I believe him, who knows? I have not
Mm.
checked Reddit, but I believe him.
Don't Google him.
Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I will later. Um, but yeah, so it was a successful date, and it's because he opened up. It was like one of those, like, he might not get the rose if he doesn't share something, so he better share something type of dates, and he did, so he's still around. And then we get this group date, and I'm, like, sitting there, and then when I hear Dylan's name, I was like, "Uh-oh." Uh-oh. That's not good. I was like, "This is his week to go
Nope.
home." I knew
Nope.
right then. I was
We're
like,
getting
and
to the
so did
point
he.
too where it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we know who's sticking around and who's not. Like,
Mhm.
it is quite clear.
Yeah, it's very obvious. He was just like, like, when it went to Grant, I was like, "Ugh, sorry.
Yep, that was
Sorry.
it, buddy.
Sorry. I like you a lot more than Grant, and I'm very sorry." Um, so then okay, and then so we're at a sheep farm, and we're all the guys are in flannel, and uh and I love these farmers. I love these New Zealand farmers. I love their accent, and I love how they say Bachelorette. It's so good. Um so I don't know if there's a New Zealand version of the Bachelorette, but I if there is, I
It
there's an
should be.
Australian version.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a New Zealand version, but if there is, I would like to watch it because I really like that. And this whole date, if you've watched Flight of the Conchords, it's basically what Murray, would talk about like the tourism in New Zealand. It would be like, we have sheep and we have rock walls and we have green hills. What more do you
What, yeah,
want?
what else do you need? What else do you
Yeah,
need?
like
Yeah.
those great New Zealand tourism ads where it was just like green stuff and nothing else. So that's what they did on this date. Um and Sam thinks he's gonna do really well because he, like, grew up on a farm, but apparently he doesn't know how to open gates.
Nope.
So that's super embarrassing for him and only him because
Yep.
nobody else was like, I mean, Austin kind of looks like he would know what he was doing, but again, he also does not know, but he also did not
No.
claim to know. But they're trying to herd sheep, and yeah, they're like, the farmers are just over there like, I don't know why they didn't open the fence because the sheep would have just run in had they opened the
I know, it's like, what are
fence.
you hurting them into? Like, what?
So, I mean, talk about herd mentality. That's
Mm.
what that was. Wake up, sheeple. Learn how to open a gate.
I hope Sam, when
uh,
he's like, "I grew up on a farm," it's like, "Nah, you just didn't grow up in a city and you had 3 dogs. That doesn't count. That's not a farm."
yeah, there's something that makes me think he didn't grow up on the kind of farm that would have been helpful in at this juncture, you
No,
know?
and also it's like, let's say he really did grow up on, like, a farm, it doesn't matter because if you're not raising, like, cattle or sheep or whatever, like, you don't know how to herd
Yeah.
animals. It's
Yeah,
why would you? If you're just
what if
growing
it's just
corn,
a
who cares?
cornfield? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I grew up on a
"I
farm.
grew up
I know
on a
how to handle
farm."
this." And it's
And it's like,
like,
"No, it's totally
yeah,
different
you grew
things."
soybeans, like, you didn't have to herd those anywhere. You just, like, and a lot of that stuff can be quite automatic, these days. Oh my gosh, so funny. So, yeah, and the farmer kind of read them for filth because he was like, not a lot of collective intelligence that you didn't think to open the gate. And I was like, I would simply shrivel away. Um, and then Dylan's worried because he doesn't want his kicks to get wrecked on this date. Apparently, he did not bring any, uh, you know, shit kicking shoes.
Yeah,
And
and there's a lot of doo-doo out there.
yeah, and they're like, "We want you to shovel this poo." And Jen was like, "This doesn't smell that bad." I was like, "Pretty cool." And she was like, "I'm actually really enjoying myself just being outside." I just really Jen can take any situation and make it sound
Yeah.
like it's great. She's like, "I'm having a really good time. Like this is pretty pleasant and I would really rather not be doing anything else." I'm like, "Okay, good for you." And then Austin was quite good at pulling dingleberries. I will give him that
Yeah.
off
And I
the
mean, if
sheet.
there's one skill that I think every woman should look for in a
Mhm.
husband, especially if you have a 72-point checklist of what you're looking for in a partner, the ability to pull dingleberries off a sheep got to be pretty high up
Yeah,
there.
very like so key. So that was interesting. And at some point, I think it was during the herding or the dingleberries, Devin like pulls Jen aside and like gets some time with her and is like, "Hey,
Mhm.
how's it going? You having
He's very
fun?"
good at it.
He's very
He's a little
strategic.
sneaky guy.
Yeah, he's really good. And then they're like, "We're gonna drink these different kinds of milk." And I'm just like, that better not be
Ugh.
raw milk because if it is, I'll be writing some very angry letters. Okay, that's
Pasteurized, we hope.
you gotta pasteurize that stuff. I hope it just like looked rustic and it
Mhm.
really like wasn't as rustic as it looks. I'm like, I don't know what the laws are in New Zealand, but you should not be drinking raw milk. There's way too much stuff getting passed around in that stuff, and that's why you gotta pasteurize. So Devin wins this competition for no reason except Jen just wanted to kiss him and he didn't complain about anything.
Hmm.
And they were like, "You're the best farmer, Devin." And I'm like, "Based on
Is
what?
he?
Based on what?" I think
Yeah, it's like
Austin probably should have won. Like out of
no, it's
everybody,
like
seemed like Austin was the best sport. He did all the stuff, and then they're like, "And the prize goes to Devin for no reason."
yeah, the only thing that Devin's good at is cultivating his relationship with
Yeah,
Jen.
that's true.
Hey, that's
That's
some good
true.
farming. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
He's
yes. He's sowing the seeds of contentment with her.
yes, gotta sow those
Yes.
seeds of love so you can reap them later as
Yeah.
they blossom.
Yes. Oh, so nice.
So nice, but also it's like he just yeah, he wasn't doing good farming, he was just doing his Devin thing. But
Yeah, I
it
think
doesn't
like
matter because Jen's like, "Whatever, I like 3 guys here. Everybody else
yeah.
fuck off."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marcus probably did well too because he's from Minnesota.
Mhm.
And
Natural. It's in his
it's just
blood.
required. If you're in Minnesota or Wisconsin, you're just like good at farming. You just
Yeah.
show up on a farm and you're like, I'm good at it. So yeah, but he was just like, yeah, I can turn this into a positive and like it's like they're at the thing at night and like I can't remember who asked Devin if he thought he was it Jeremy or was it Sam? I don't know. Someone asked
Mhm.
him and they were like, "Be honest. Do you really think you were the best farmer?" And he goes, "I think I'm the best at like paying attention to Jen and like giving her what she wants." And then God,
Yeah.
now I'm trying to remember. Oh no, it was Jeremy because then he gave him like this passive aggressive look back. He was like, "Great, that was really helpful. That was really helpful." And I was like, "It kind of was. You
Yeah,
should be
I
taking
mean
notes, honestly. I mean, no need to be passive aggressive. Like he
yep.
is giving you very helpful information."
Exactly. I don't
I don't
like
know.
Devin very much, and I don't think he's someone who someone else should be marrying right now, but that being said, knows how to play the game.
He's doing the best job playing the game. It's
Mhm.
giving me like Hannah Ann vibes.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
when you were like, she is a consummate professional. She knows how to play this game better than anybody. He's very much playing the game the way Hannah Ann did. So,
Mhm.
I mean, now look how that turned out.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I think all the other men should be taking notes. He is running laps around them. Like they really got to step it up.
Mhm.
So all right. So Jen spent some time with Jeremy. I don't mind Jeremy, but I also am just like I personally wouldn't date him.
Yeah.
But she was just like, "Oh my god, were you a frat boy? Were you like in a frat?" And he's
And
like,
then he gives, like,
"Yeah."
the weirdest answer. He's like, I was fat, and I was like, "She said frat, not fat?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
but
"No, I
I
was
think you
chubby in high school,
I
and
think
then
he's
I
just
became
like
beautiful."
social pressures and yeah, wanting to fit in, in the most conventional stereotypical way possible. And she's
Yeah,
like, "Oh
so
my
all of
god,
this is
okay."
telling me, like, yeah, she's fine with it, but in my head, I'm just like, "Okay, so he was a little awkward and maybe a little bit overweight and had low self-esteem, and then he got to college and became a douche."
And then he got hazed into
Yeah,
yeah,
and
whatever.
then hopefully he
Yeah.
grew up after that and got a little less douchey, but
Yeah.
he definitely I guarantee he was a douche in college because that's
Yeah.
he seemed embarrassed by the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was a sorority girl, so I can't like really say too much, but
Yeah.
also like the school I went to was not everybody was in a sorority or a frat because otherwise you had no social life. 80% of the campus was in a house. It was just like if you're not in a house, people would be like, what's wrong with you?" Like you don't like people, you don't like going places and doing things like
No.
weird. And that allowed me to collect souvenirs from every frat on campus on the last day of school with my sorority sisters, which was
So you've
pretty
got a
fun.
pair of, Dirty Men's underwear from
Mm,
2009.
no, like, no. Memorabilia, um,
Memorabilia?
yeah, plastic skeleton, a
That's good.
mug,
I hope you get to
mm,
keep the skeleton.
maybe a letter that, we shouldn't have grabbed. But anyway, it's out of my hands. I don't have any of that stuff right now,
Yeah.
so I don't know what you're talking about. But I mean that stuff is fun. But yeah, it was clear that yeah, it was just weird. It was like I'm not actually there for the camaraderie. I'm there for like feeling normal, or I don't know. It was just
Mhm.
weird. So I'm admitting things on this podcast I probably shouldn't admit. You can't catch me in anything. Sammy's CD passed.
Get her, internet!
Maybe one day
Sammy canceled? That's the thumbnail.
Maybe one day I'll tell the full story. I'll just say, two of my sorority sisters called me. This was a long time ago. Obviously, I'm old. Two of my sorority sisters called me and they said, "Meet us here and wear something inconspicuous." And I said, "Okay." So I found like the darkest clothing I could find, and then they were wearing very loud animal print and like neon clothes.
Of course, inconspicuous.
And they had a garbage bag and they said, "We're gonna go get some stuff. You
Well,
wanna
that would
come
be
with us?"
inconspicuous if you were on the set of the live action Flintstones movie or at the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, it was very inconspicuous. I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this." No, it was fairly innocent. So anyway, so so who's gonna get the group date rose? Here's the question. And then we get to Austin and I'm like, I mean, I know he's on the chopping block, but he
Yeah.
decides, "You can't fire me. I quit."
Yeah, I love that move, which honestly,
Honestly, smart.
it's nothing but respect. Yeah, like you get to
Yeah.
walk out with your head held high. And people always talk about like, "Oh, you're not here for the right reasons, blah blah blah." If you're not feeling it yet and you know she's not feeling it yet and you know you don't have time to really like actually get to the point you need to get to, this is a great time to bail. And he's
Yes.
right. He's
Yes.
100% right. Like she should applaud him for this, but
Mhm.
instead it's just like, "Oh, my insecurities and my fifis."
Yeah, it was weird. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about that. I thought that was really interesting. So Austin's like, "Listen," he said something to the extent of like for me and for you, I think it
Mhm.
makes sense for me to go. Like out of respect for you. Like I don't think you're feeling the way that you should feel for me, and I don't think
Mhm.
I'm feeling the way I should feel for you. I see like how far you're getting with these other guys in the house, and I'm not there and you're not there either.
Yep.
So we owe it to each other, and I'm going to take myself out of the equation so that you can be left with some amazing men. And I'm positive your husband is in that room.
Yeah, it was beautiful and
And I was
100%
like,
correct.
I was like, that's probably the best exit I've ever seen on the show. And then it felt so strange to have Jen be like, did I not do enough? Like, was I not good
Yeah.
enough? And I'm like, I don't think that has anything
No,
to
it has
do with
nothing to
you
do
not
with
being
that.
good enough. I think you're great. And he respects you and cares about you so much that he's like, I can't stay here and
Mhm.
make your decision more complicated. I'm going to simplify it for you because I know that this isn't ultimately, I'm not who you would choose. And so to have her be like, "Oh, he just doesn't, yeah, he doesn't care about me, or I'm not good enough." I was very surprised, but it was it was interesting because it did give her a chance to be vulnerable and open up
Mhm.
to these men and say, something along the lines of, I like, this is making me feel insecure, and I want to act like everything's great and I got it all together, and this makes me
Yeah.
feel less than. But I think it is just a remnant of, I mean, we hear later on her date with Grant, which we'll get into, like, how toxic her ex was. Holy shit. Um that stuff doesn't just, like, go away. It's like it does hang
Yeah.
around. So when something like this happens and you're not feeling totally secure in yourself, then I get it. It's easy to be like, I failed somehow. But hopefully, and I haven't looked at anything, but hopefully maybe Austin put something, or Jen has like more reflection and gets it, because I wouldn't want her to have like a bad taste in her mouth around him. And maybe it'll be like the men tell all that'll like wrap up there.
Mhm.
But I mean, it ended up working out well for her because the men who were on the group date were like, "No, like, you're awesome. Like, you're
Yeah.
so awesome, and you're the best, and we don't feel that way at all, and, like, we're all here for you, and that's why we're staying, because we're all invested in this." So, yeah, it was hard to watch her say, like, she felt worthless. I was just like, "Oh my god, no. What?
No.
No."
That's not
Um,
good.
no, but I'm sure it's mostly because of how she was treated in past relationships that she just goes to
Mhm.
that, and I'm sure someone told her that at some point, and that sucks, or made her feel that way. But that none of that changes the fact that I think Sam is such a fucking loser. And he said something
Yeah.
cliche, like, during this kind of, I don't remember what it was, because it was just, I don't know. It was just bad. It was just like, "Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see." That he might as well have said that. I don't know what he said. He said something cornball, and I
That's
was just
great.
like, I don't, I've stopped listening to you. I don't enjoy you anymore. Um, but then she gets some time with Marcus, and she talks about how he's reliable, which 100% agree. I think he's gonna be in the final 2. I
Yeah,
think he's
I
gonna be in the final 2.
I hope so.
I think he would be a very good choice. I think she should, really strongly consider, uh,
Well,
Marcus.
here's the thing. Should he be in the final 2?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, in fact, at this point, with who's left, I that's the guy you probably wanna root for, but all that considered, do you think Jen is emotionally mature enough to make that choice? Because I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, if you look at, like, the top dudes, he's not a top 2 dude right now. We know who the top 2 dudes are, and,
Sam and Devin?
yeah.
Is that what you'd say? Yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
It's
easy,
just
easy. And
so
Devin is like, "Okay, well, you're
weird.
playing the game well, and I know there's some goodness in you somewhere, but
Mhm.
also, meh." And then Sam is Sam.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the thing is, so that's what I was gonna say, about like the Devin versus Sam thing is, when Devin, so like Sam said something to Jen that was kind of the same as what Devin said in this moment. And he said to Jen, like, "You're worthy and more of being chosen. And I don't want you to feel like you aren't worthy, because
yeah.
you are." And I believed him. And I don't believe anything Sam says ever. And so it's weird how two guys can say almost the same things, and it can feel so different depending on who's saying it. That's all I'm going to say.
Mhm.
I'm not saying he is or isn't trustworthy. I'm just saying I don't feel comfortable with him on my TV, and I wanted him off my TV. So we get into a date. Wait, did anyone get a group date, Rose?
For what?
For
For the
the,
sheep?
yeah,
Devin got the well, I guess he didn't because he already had a roast, he's already
he,
safe.
yeah.
Okay.
Did
Well,
anyone?
Devin won.
Okay, he won. So wait, did he get it from the date?
He must have. He must
Yeah.
have, because I know he was safe and I know he won. So yeah, he must have gotten it from
Yeah.
there.
See, again,
Either way,
confused.
Devin's safe.
Devin safe. So then
She
she
probably didn't
goes,
want to give it to Austin, even though he won the group date, because she knew she wanted to axe him,
maybe,
and then
maybe.
she got mad when he left.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. It was like, I think she just wanted to tell him to go. Um, so she goes on a date with Grant. She wants to know what makes him him because we literally know nothing about Grant
He day
until this point.
trades.
Yeah, we don't know anything else about him. I thought that there would be a good chance that he would go home if this date didn't go well because, like, we just know nothing about him. Um, and so we go horseback riding, and I think I can't remember if Jen or Grant said it looked like a movie, but my note was, "Wow, it looks like a computer background." It looks like a really nice computer background on here. Um, and then Grant says like the date was perfectly imperfect, and I think that's just because it rained. And I was like, I think it was just like perfect. I don't know.
Yeah, what does that mean? And
I
then
was
and then
like
Jen's
perfectly
like,
imperfect.
just like relationships. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was like, what's the imperfect part? I was very confused by that. I was just like,
No, this
that
is
kind of seemed like a perfect date to
the
me.
home goodsification of America. People are just saying things like, what does that? What does that fucking
Yeah.
mean to you? It doesn't
It
mean
was
anything.
a Ray Dunn date,
Yeah.
mass produced imperfection. Um, but anyway, so Grant
But first, coffee.
yeah, perfectly imperfect. So Grant talks about himself and he talks about how his dad was an addict and is a little under 2 months sober, and it's a very vulnerable story. And Jen talks about working in the ER and seeing addiction and, talking about it as a sickness, and, she's got a lot of empathy for him, and so it's a nice connecting moment.
Mhm.
And then Jen opens up and talks about her toxic ex who told her that racism was fake. I was like, I didn't imagine that level of toxicity. Like when I was
Yeah.
thinking about her toxic ex, I'm thinking kind of the stuff that I see in Sam M, where it's just like, who are you like, that makes my blood boil, and who are you talking to? And he's like, I'm just worried that at some point he's going to use love as an excuse for like an extreme negative emotion. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he would do that. I'm just saying that's what I would be concerned about.
I want to know
Um
who Jen was dating before this. Like Richard Spencer? Jesus. Like, who?
Like, I was just like, how, like, yeah, all kind I mean, that was the one note that I took. I mean, it just sounded like, because she would talk to him about, like, misogyny and racism and, just, like, like, other forms of systemic toxicity, and he would basically be like, "That's not real, like, you need to toughen
Yeah.
up, you need to just, like, be more open-minded and accept people who have open hatred towards you." Like, it was very weird, and I was like, that's yeah, that's, like, so much work. I That is the one thing I did Google. I was like, "Who's this motherfucker? I wanna mess him up. What the I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind." But I have
It's
not been
just
able to
wild. Like,
find him.
imagine like just trying to bring that person out in public, like to have drinks with you and your friends.
Scary,
Yeah. It's
scary,
like, what's he
scary.
gonna say next?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's another level. That's really, really awful. Them sharing their poor experiences did create a bonding moment, and Grant does get the rose, and Grant says he's starting to fall. He said he is starting to fall,
Yeah.
and that it is more than attraction, and he's getting kind of emotional. And then when we get to the, like, rose ceremony cocktail party, but the cocktail party gets canceled.
Mhm.
Um, Grant starts talking about falling in love. So he talks about starting to fall at the date when we imagine he's here, and then then he goes there. And then he's falling in love, starting to fall to falling in love. And he's getting really emotional, and I think he does believe it, but I have a weird feeling that he's someone who's being heavily influenced by production.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
for
know,
sure.
because I
For
just feel
sure.
like he's feeling like he went from not really interacting with Jen to, like, having very strong feelings. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, and then I wasn't sure how many people were going home. I thought 2. So my guess was Dylan and Spencer. That was my guess going in.
Yeah.
But because
Uh,
Austin self-selected, they did only have 1 man go home. And Jen canceled the cocktail party because she knew what she wanted.
Yep.
And she looked amazing again in purple sparkles. Oh my god.
Yeah. What a
Um
great way to get sent home from New Zealand, let me tell you. Purple
in
sparkles,
purple
just tell me
sparkles
to get out of here,
as
purple
the
sparkles.
only one. So yeah, that was sad because I was like, it's harder because he was like my early favorite. I will say Jonathan really climbed the charts for me. But it was Sam gets the first one, gross. And then no, Devin got it now. So I don't think anyone
Okay,
did
so
get it.
nobody got it. Nobody got
I
anything for
don't
the
think
sheep
so.
date. Okay.
Unless I'm wrong, but I have Devin, Marcus, Jeremy, and Spencer got the roses
Okay.
at the ceremony. And yeah, this whole thing was and then Grant already had it before
Yeah, from his
and
one-on-one. Sure.
and my brain's going and Jonathan had it from his one-on-one before. So I think that's it at this point. I can't think of anybody else. So yeah, it was just Dylan who went home and that was hard and sad. Um but I really he was just too quiet. You know, he's like too normal, he's too quiet. He's like didn't get involved in too much stuff but would narrate when they needed him to.
Yep.
And he I think he'd thrive in paradise. I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
he gets on
See on
paradise. He's
Paradise.
like
He's gonna be one of
perfect.
those ones where, like, they're gonna be talking to the ladies, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I hope Dylan's here. He's so nice. I saw him at Stagecoach."
I don't know if Dylan's a stagecoach guy. We'll see
It
though.
doesn't matter if you're a
They all
Stagecoach
just go
guy.
to
You
stagecoach.
go
That's
to
true.
Stagecoach. It doesn't
That's what you
matter.
do. You
Oh
go
my
to
god.
is it a
Me, I was
name
standing
now?
by Dylan during the Jelly Roll set at Stagecoach. That's what someone's gonna say.
Does Stagecoach have a new name? Or no, there's a new festival that's being brought about by Stagecoach. Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
Oh
I'm
my
not a
gosh, they
Stagecoach
were
man.
here's the thing. They were actually with Jen during Stagecoach, I think, because it's April 25th through the 20. Oh no, that was 2025. But I'm assuming then, yeah, they were probably
Mm,
there, right? It was probably yeah, April
yeah.
26th through the 28th, 2024. So I think they were busy. Nickelback was
Mhm.
there. Mm.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and ugh, Morgan Wallen.
Bleh.
Anyway, what a terrible human.
I have a
So
question for you.
okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so we have just sent home the beautiful, sweet Dylan,
Yeah.
and we are down to 7 guys. I think we're gonna lose a minimum of 2 next week,
Is it
potentially
7 or
3.
is it 6?
We are down to
What
yeah,
is
we're down to
26?
7. Down to 7 guys.
Wait, so who's the 7? Because I'm trying to still figure out if there was a
Okay,
group date
so
roast
we've
that I
got
forgot about.
Devin, we've
Yeah.
got Grant, we've got Jeremy,
Oh, yeah, I got it.
the often forgettable Jeremy.
No, I forgot Sam. Because
Yeah,
I had the note. So it was Sam, Devin, Marcus, Jeremy, and Spencer who got roses
yep,
at the rose ceremony. And then Jonathan and Grant got it on
yep,
their dates. So yeah,
yep.
there was no group date rose. Okay. Yeah, 7 guys.
Goodbye, Dylan.
Yeah.
Now, assuming that well, I mean, how close we gotta be close to hometowns at this point, right?
I think next week might well, there might
So
be
next week won't
one
be yeah,
more
one more before hometowns. So if
probably.
that's true, then we're gonna have to eliminate 3.
Mhm.
So who are you sending home next week, Sammy?
Okay, let me think about it. Okay. I gotta write all the names down again. So I'm using my mechanical keyboard to type this. It's really nice. It's got milky yellow switches and they're really nice. I don't know why it took me so long to buy one of these and build one. That took that okay, let's see. I think Grant's going home.
Okay.
Spencer's going home for
Mhm.
sure. And then Jeremy's going home.
Okay.
So
Good
it's
choices.
gonna be Sam, Devin, Marcus, and Jonathan at hometowns.
Now, I agree. there is no situation imaginable in my brain right now where Jeremy and Spencer are not going home next week.
They gotta
Sorry,
go.
boys. See you later,
Mhm.
you nerds. Now, that being said, I think Devin and Sam are the A1, A2. Like
Yeah.
they're top of the heap. So that leaves Marcus and Grant.
Mhm.
Okay. So now what you have to choose is, do you believe in production and their love of Marcus, as Sammy does?
Mhm.
Or do you believe in the proximity effect of The Bachelor where Grant just went on a really good
Yeah.
date with her? And I think that Jen just might have Bachelor goldfish brain, which we frequently see happen.
Yeah.
And I think Grant's going to stick around for one
Mm.
more week, and
And Marcus
Marcus,
will go home?
yep, salute that soldier. He's walking.
I I'm gonna make a bold prediction and say Sam's gonna fall at some point.
Mm.
And I think
I
Marcus is gonna stick around, and I think he's got top 2 potential. I'm gonna say it.
Wow.
That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
say. I don't have
So
any inside info on any of that. There's one thing I did find out on accident, but nothing about this. I will
so
say Marcus has more staying power than you're giving him
mhm.
credit for.
So here's the other thing though. We're
Mhm.
talking production. Okay. Yes, production loves Marcus, but do you want a hometown where you go to Marcus and he unpacks his one flag and he's got another flag hanging on the wall? Or do you want to go to the hometown with Grant where his father has been sober for 2 months and we have this like big emotional moment? And
Yeah.
if I'm production, I mean, come on, right?
I still don't think that there's enough of a connection with Grant. I think there was good progress on the date,
Mhm.
and they were both equally vulnerable, and would have felt weird not to give him a rose. But I think if he hadn't opened up, he wouldn't have gotten a rose.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
don't think that's enough to propel him into another week. And I think Marcus has staying power because they went on a one-on-one a couple weeks ago, at least.
Yeah.
And it's like he's kind of the person that I think she feels the most comfortable
Mhm.
with Devin and Marcus and Jonathan. I would say those are the 3 where it's like she's kind of like the coziest, the most comfortable, and so I don't think any of them are going anywhere, and I think Sam's like the volatile wild card. That's what
Okay.
I think. I don't
Okay.
think there's enough of a connection with Grant. I think Spencer is too much of a nice guy for her. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I just don't think he's
Jeremy's
like
forgettable, clearly.
Jeremy. I don't think Jeremy is forgettable, but I think he's, like, snarky in a way that she doesn't care about. Like,
Mhm.
I think he's kinda funny, but I don't think he's the kind of funny she likes. I think
Yeah.
Devin and Jonathan are the kind of funny she likes, and they're different types of funny, but I think they're, like, the funny that she likes, and I don't think, like, Jeremy's doing anything for her in that regard. Like, I think
No.
she's just kinda trying to keep up with him, and she's, like, teasing him, but he's not really going for it. So it's
Mhm.
not and, like, Devin can be kinda self-deprecating, and Jonathan can be silly, and he's not either of those things. Um, I think he's, like, jokey, but takes himself too seriously for it to land all the time with her.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
that's just my ideas.
No, I think that's you got a point there, but it really is. I think it's Grant versus Marcus. Like that seems
Yeah.
like the ultimate battle right now, which I'm here for.
I just think it might be too much too fast, and maybe with all the things he's talking about in this episode, maybe he'll come on too strong, and
Mm.
that'll kinda, like, catch Jen off guard.
And then Jeremy will win it all.
No, I don't think I think
No.
this is Jeremy's last week. I really do.
Yeah.
And I
Bye,
think it's
Jeremy.
Spencer's last week. I think those 2 are very obvious, and I do agree the 3rd one's kind of up in the air. So we'll see. We'll see which one of us reigns supreme.
Is the smartest person alive?
Yeah, that's the award that I won. I won an award last week, and it was for the smartest person alive.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's
Mhm.
not true because I actually won the Lifetime Achievement Smartest Person Alive award last week after they gave you just the one for this year, and Albert Einstein gave it to me,
Now it sounds
so
like Devin and Thomas fighting.
Are
No,
we're the
you
Devin
are.
and
You are. You're an
we're the
asshole.
Devin and Thomas of
You're a butthead.
Bachelor podcasts.
You wanna go? You wanna go? It's like, okay. Yeah,
Sammy the
well,
Intimidator.
I'm one step better than you. So, you try to one up me, I'll two up you. Okay?
Ugh,
I'll get one of
whatever.
those special mushrooms from Mario and I will two up you. Okay?
Don't even start with
I can
me.
grab 3 stars in a row, like nothing, like nothing. 5, 5, 5,
Ooh,
5
it's
up, like
yeah.
nobody's
Oh, yeah, because
business.
your dad works at Nintendo, right? Like
Yeah, my dad works at Nintendo. My dad did not take a Nintendo out of a dump and recondition it so that I could play it as a kid. He works for Nintendo. Okay,
yeah.
that first thing I told you wasn't true. He definitely works for Nintendo.
Mhm.
Mhm.
100%.
Well, with that being said, everybody, our website might be under a little bit of construction, so I won't tell you to go over there, but you should go to pop.culture.diner at TikTok because we are posting clips over there. We are chatting over there. If you want to get in the comments with us, we're over there. And until next time, friends, I hope if there's a state fair by you, that you are enjoying amazing and kind of weird food and that you are using hand sanitizer after you hang out with the livestock.
I don't do needle drugs with the livestock. It's a
You've got
possibility.
flavored milk to enjoy,
Oh,
cream puffs to eat, pig
very
races to watch.
a bucket of cookies in Minnesota, the
Airbrush
cookie
tattoos. We
bucket.
did airbrush tattoos one year. Remember that?
Yes, I saw a picture of that. I'm going like this, like I still have
Did
it
they
on my
say
arm.
princess?
Sassy.
Sassy. That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Still
Sassy.
true.
Keep it classy and sassy, friends.